Hello everyone, welcome back to Isadora. It's really good to be back. Hope you're having a good week. Okay, so today I don't necessarily have a topic, but what I wanted to do was actually talk about why I started the channel, and that would help me and anybody else that views the channel put some sort of structure to it, because I know that for a lot of people, some people stick to particular genres. Like somebody might stick to relationships, another person might stick to spirituality, another person might stick to finance. But for me, I seem to touch on everything. Today I talk about narcissism, tomorrow I talk about spirituality, next tomorrow I talk about religion or whatever it is, but it's all tied together. And I think being able to break it down properly would help not just me but also anybody that views the channel put a structure and to understand what the channel is about a little bit better. Okay, so let's do that. So why did I start this channel? Okay, back in 2020, it was during COVID, and to be honest, like I've always said, I know that the COVID season was a bit, it was really taxing, because people lost a lot of people, countries lost a lot of people. However, for me as well, it was a major turning point for me, a major turning point in my life. Because normally what I do is I just go, go. I never ever sit down to take account. I never sit down to take stock of my life. Why? Because even when I'm seated, it looks like I'm resting. I'm with people, I'm with friends, I'm doing something, I'm running around somewhere, I'm trying to do this. So I've never in my adult life, I've never really sat back to say, okay, you know what, it was the first time. But before then, I was completely exhausted. I couldn't, if I hadn't taken that break, if that hadn't happened and they had said to everybody like we couldn't go out or whatever it is, I cannot boast of what would have happened to me. I cannot boast of being able to be here today. Do you understand? Because I was exhausted. My take on life is, okay, you're doing this, you're doing some kind of business, something happens to you tomorrow, don't cry too long, move. Relationship crashes, don't cry too long, move. Just keep moving. Do you understand? Don't ever stay static. And as good as that is, sometimes you really need to pull back and relax sometimes, which I wasn't doing. So I got that opportunity. And as I got that opportunity in 2020, having spent time with myself, I think maybe just surfing the net or doing something, I stumbled on information. And this information completely changed my life till today. Completely. It was a 360 degrees. It was like, unfortunately, it was a loss, but in a good way. It was a good loss. It was a loss of who I used to be, and and I've somehow journeyed to who I am now. Do you understand? Not that there was much of a difference, but there were some things I needed to do. So I stumbled on that information, and one of the most important informations I stumbled on was narcissism. Now, please don't get me wrong. Before then, I didn't even think narcissism was a bad word. Not necessarily. I knew it was bad, don't get me wrong. But there was this author I used to listen to, right? And he talks about the narcissistic woman, like the woman that is so into herself, she doesn't really have time for anybody else. Like, she's like the most attractive type of woman. Do you understand? Every woman wants to be like her, every man wants to be with her. So I'm like, I want to be this woman. Do you understand? Because I knew somehow that I was nothing like this woman. This is not me saying I didn't have my narcissistic traits. I probably did. We all have some sort of maybe narcissistic trait here and there. Sometimes it's mild, sometimes it's bad. Anyway, so I'm not saying I didn't have my own bad behaviors or whatever it is, but I wasn't anything like somebody that was so into themselves. You understand? Because I was so consumed with everybody else and everybody else smiling or being happy that sometimes I neglected myself, right? So I wanted to be this woman, but I wasn't like that. And I was trying to work towards it. It just wasn't working. Because for me, my personality and is Live and let live. Seriously. If, just an example, if I had like a 3-bedroom flat, right? And somebody hit me up, like a friend of mine, obviously. Maybe not. So, or maybe somebody I've met that I kind of get along with and I kind of like. And they said to me, oh, you know what? I'm having these issues. I just want to take a room or whatever it is. See, I hardly ever come out of my room anyway. So as long as you're not in my way, I'm fine. My boundaries for me will be my room. So as long as you're not crossing those boundaries, you're not in my way. Once you're not in my way, those things don't mean anything to me. So I realized after when I stumbled on that information, and like I said, it changed my life, that what I thought was a great life was a facade. Pretty much. I thought I had a great life. I thought I had the friends. I thought I had the lifestyle. I thought I had the relationships. I thought I had the jobs, the contracts, the this, the that. Do you understand? I thought I had all that. What I realized was I was building sandcastles. And you know what happens when you build sandcastles? When the rain comes, it washes away. So I was in a toxic cycle in my life, because what would happen is I would build a very big sandcastle, the rain would come, wash it away, like every 2 years or every 3 years, and I thought I had the problem. Well, I mean, you know, I thought there was something wrong. So I was running helter-skelter, trying to look for help, without taking account of the people, places, things in my life. I never stopped to take account. So as I did that, as I stumbled on that information, for me it was like, oh my God. Anybody that has experienced narcissism before knows that to survive one narcissist, it's the grace of God. If he didn't kill you or send you to a psychiatric home, then you're definitely a survivor. One, a narcissist. To have survived narcissistic abuse my entire life, I realized in that moment I was a walking miracle, because I didn't even know what it was. So something, obviously, that is God, as big as God, must have been protecting me. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I realized in that moment I was a walking miracle. What was I going to do with this information? Keep it to myself? I couldn't do that, because there were so many unsuspecting people like me that needed that information, or that need this information, right? The information I stumbled upon was posted 5 years before, which is why one of the reasons why I tend not to really push my channel too much, because I'm one of those people that believe, don't get me wrong, I mean, if I had the views, if I had the likes, it's great, I would be so grateful. However, like I said, what I stumbled upon, I've come to realize what I'm doing is not entertainment. It doesn't make people laugh. It's sometimes kind of dark, it kind of depresses people sometimes, you know. I get all that, but it's serious stuff, but it's information that needs to be put out there, if that makes any sense. So it would have been great if I had all that, but I've realized that because what I'm doing is not one of those things that would entertain you, you know. And it, like I said, I stumbled on information that was posted 5 years before. I know that it's not something a lot of people experience, maybe just a few, maybe a lot, but which is why I cover other types of, do you understand, personality disorders. So I realized that it's, do you understand, it's not, maybe not the most popular kind of topics, but either way, so sometimes I try to make it fun. Anyway, so I had to put the information out there, because the one I found was posted 5 years before. So I'm one of those people that believe whoever needs it will find it at the right time, if that makes any sense. So anyway, so I decided to start the channel. And as I started the channel, obviously I had to keep doing research. So initially some things came from my mind, some things I would research on it. These days I don't even open anything. I think about it, it comes to my mind, I go over it in my mind a bit, and I turn on my camera. Except I need to research one or two information, obviously. But as I started the channel, I also kept studying. As I kept studying, I realized something, that narcissism, and see, this is how it all ties together, is not clinical. Yes, it's a personality disorder, but it's not clinical. It's not clinical because it cannot be diagnosed. Apart from that, it's not clinical because evil is not clinical. Wickedness is not clinical. Lies is not clinical. Greed is not clinical. Just terrible human being is not clinical. Do you understand? Half the time these things are biblical. Steal, kill, destroy is something you would find in the good book. Like I said, I would go with an example of the Christian religion, but I don't know how that falls in other religions. But in the Christian religion, in the Bible, kill, steal, destroy is a biblical thing. Hence the whole religious spirituality connotation to it. In my opinion, it's not clinical. It's something you will find in the good book, depending on what good book you use. If I'm going by the Bible, still kill, destroy, because if you know anything about narcissism, let me explain it in very short terms. Even though I think I'll be doing a proper topic on it in future. Having a narcissist in your life is like, imagine if somebody sent, because what a narcissist is, let me go back. Imagine if somebody sent like a hired killer, a paid assassin, to either be your friend, your relationship partner, your work colleague, your family member, because you can experience narcissism anywhere. It's not just with relationships. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be anything. So anyway, it could be your job, it could be anything, it could be your work colleague, it could be anything. So imagine somebody sent and, to come in, be friends with you, or whatever it is, go in a relationship with you, and this person is like a paid assassin. They have guns and knives and everything, and the whole friendship is a facade. They are planning to use it on you eventually. Imagine that. Except the weapons of war, it says in my good book, the Bible, are not carnal. They're not holding guns and knives, no. They're going to use tactics and manipulation. But they're there to do the same thing. To either steal, to either kill you, or to destroy you. They're there to do the same thing. And they must achieve that. Is how they feel. It's something that has to be achieved. It can come in any form. Now, narcissism is way deeper than you think. Way deeper, but I can't talk about it now because I said that the video is getting really long. Anyway, so it's really deep. It goes way deeper. It goes deep into generations. That's not clinical. I had to pick up my Bible and see if I would actually find narcissism in the Bible. And guess what? I came across Jezebel. She's a covert narcissist. I came across Haman. He's an overt, malignant narcissist. And I saw the way God reacted towards them. Because what a narcissist, what the Bible says for somebody, the Bible calls kill, steal, destroy the devil. A narcissist is a bona fide, legitimate, legal child of the devil. So, if they're in your life, it's as good as somebody has paid, like a paid assassin or whatever, to sit with you and kill you eventually, or destroy you, or whatever it is. Except the weapons of war are not carnal. They're not there with guns and knives, so you're never going to suspect it. Somebody that's come to kill you will not say, "Hi, guess what? I came to kill you." "Hi, I came to destroy you." No, of course not. Of course not. They will be the nicest people. That's the whole love bombing thing. They will be the nicest people to you. They will be everything. The thing is, and they will be, initially, the way they are to use, the way they will be to everybody else. Except you are the target. Everybody else, they will be sweet and amazing too. Initially, they'll start off being like that towards you. Then things will change drastically. Drastically. And you'll notice that it's not just them, it's everybody else around you, because somehow they've got everybody else around you involved. So, having that sort of person in your life is as good as, imagine that. It wasn't information I could keep to myself. Some other people are unsuspecting, they don't know who they have in their lives. Hence the whole, when I talk about relationships, when I talk about friendships, because it all ties to one. It's all the same thing. It's narcissism, it's spirituality, it's religion, it's the same thing. Because that's what I talk about. So I talk about total well-being, how to take cognizance of the people in your life, the places you go to, the things you do in your life. Alcohol, whatever it is, you have to take cognizance, because that's why I have to talk about every single thing. I can't just say, oh, I'm talking about narcissism, so I have to stick to that. No, because if you have a narcissist in your life, trust me when I tell you, if you're thinking of going to a therapist, and you guys will work it out, don't worry. Except you would only get worse. So anyway, you better take off your dancing shoes. Take off, forget everything else. Get on your knees, because believe me, if you know anything about those people I mentioned in the Bible, the only way to beat it is through prayers. I don't know any other way. You just have to pray. Because, like I said, it's not clinical, it's spiritual. You have to pray. You have to forget about parties or fancy things. You have to get on your knees. And like I said, anybody that survived one has survived, is a survival. If you've been surviving it all your life without knowing what it is. Because like I said, I was almost like with relationships, it was like same person, different faces. With friends, it was a time I was going through a lot of chaos and conflicts with relationship, friends, this, that. I mean, I have met the greatest people ever. And I'm grateful for that. I've also met the most toxic people, which are the ones I'm talking about now. I've met the most toxic people, but I've also met the greatest people. So there's been a balance, to be honest. At least they were great to me, because there's always two sides to every coin. So sometimes some people may say, well, that person's great, and another person will feel differently. So they were great to me. They were amazing. At the time, I needed them. At the time, I met them. At the time, I was in communications with them. They were great with me. So they were great to me. So I mean, so that was, a good balance. It's not about the external. It's always about you. When you don't want something in your life, change it. Change it. Sometimes sometimes change is very painful. Change will cost you a lot. But if you feel like this thing, it's not working for me, change it. Because you only have that life to live. Change it. That's what I had to do. So I had to take cognizance of people, places, things, and the truth is, for me to change it, if I'm in it, I can't fix it in it. I need to be out of it. I had to pull myself out of it. Painful. I lost some great friendships. But I had to pull myself out of it to be able to fix myself. It wasn't about anybody else. It was about me. Because I can be at a certain level where, if I'm docile and a pushover, yes, people will take advantage. It's really that simple. So I can't be complaining about people taking advantage because I'm the docile and the pushover. Do you understand? So I knew it was something. Even when you experience narcissism, the truth is that if you're at a certain level, they can't even be in your life. They're in your life because you need to grow. They're in your life. So it's not happening to you. It's happening for you. So whilst you're saying, I'm a survivor of this horrible, horrible, horrible thing that happened to me, no. It's happening to you for you to grow as a person. Because Certain people would only be in your life because you're a certain way. Do you understand? Certain people would only be in your life because you're a certain. What about people that have the greatest people in their lives? It's because they're at a certain level, and those people are not giving them issues. Do you understand? They're helping them. They're doing this. Everybody's helping each other because they have put themselves at a level where, okay, I'm at this certain level in my life. These are the sort of people I should be. Do you understand? I'm not saying in a looking down on somebody. No. It has nothing to do with that. Look, you can be the wealthiest person and you know that this person has nothing, but what they have in terms of wisdom, in terms of experience, in terms of, do you understand, this person is a focused person. So it's about, do you understand, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about money wise, I'm richer than you. No. I'm talking about on a vibrational level in terms of, okay, this person mentality is like mine, this person thinks like me, this person is not a backward thinker, whilst I'm thinking, maybe I should buy a $10 million worth of phone, because when I go to meetings, this thing will not only serve as a phone, it will serve as a laptop, it will serve as a reminder, it will serve as my assistant. It will save me the cost of having to pay a personal assistant because it works as an assistant for you. Do you understand? Somebody with a lesser mindset to be thinking 2 million naira worth of phone, don't worry. So you have the 2 million naira to be wasting on phones and all this rubbish mindset. And that's where it is. So if your mindset is totally, if it's advanced and you're around, do you understand? I'm not saying that's what it was. All I'm saying is that's what I'm trying to talk about. That's what I'm trying to say, not in a monetary level. Do you understand? So it could be, it might not be in a mindset thing, it might be in a behavioral pattern thing. Maybe you're a prayerful person and then you'll be people that want to club all the time. Do you understand? You know, not that you can't be around people that go out sometimes. It's not, but you're around people that will eventually, not because they want to be bad, their lifestyle is chilling. Do you understand? Eventually they'll convince you to chill. So when you know that you're taking a certain path, you have to be around certain people that are on that path, so that to help yourself. It's not out of looking down on another person. No, it's not that the path they're taking is wrong. The fact that I want to chill does not make me a worse person than you because you want to pray. That's not how it works. The person chilling might have a heart of gold. The person praying might have a shitty heart. That's the truth. So don't judge a book by its cover. So it's not about somebody that just wants to chill. It's about where your path is, where you're headed. Do you understand? If you're headed to north, you can't be chilling in south. You will never get to north. That's how it is. So you go with people that are going towards the north. It doesn't mean you're enemies with people in the south. You can't be, or it doesn't mean you're better than the people in the south. The people in the south, that's the way it works for them. How does it work for you? It's a personal thing. And that's why I started doing this. It was something I needed to share. And as I studied, more things started to come up. And as they came up, I kept widening my topics. So I just felt like I needed to pull everything back into a total well-being channel, because that's what it's about. It's about one's well-being. If your mental and emotional well-being is in place, you will be able, you will live longer. Do you understand? You will live longer. You will be surprised that you don't even need to take all the, do you understand, pills and this and this and this and this and that, because once you're at peace, it comes out, it's a glow around you. Once you're, do you understand, on your right path, it may not be the easiest thing, but somehow you will find peace in it. There may be chaos and conflict around. Somehow, it's just not, because you're at a place where those things don't matter anymore. What matters most is where you're going. It's where you're going. The journey may be the most difficult journey, but somewhere in that difficulty, you'll be looking at it from a higher perspective. You won't see it as difficulty, you see it as you're learning. Life is training you. I tell people life raised me. Life will train you. So that's why I'm doing this. So anyway, if you're experiencing anything, you get through it. But don't blame people. People can only do to you what you let them do to you. Anyway, have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful week. I love you all. Thank you. Namaste. Stay blessed. Um, may you find peace. May you find joy. I send you love, blessings, and have a beautiful week. Stay blessed.